Murray from Pest Free Kaipātiki, with this kōrero from the ground up, engaging communities in kauri protection and myrtle rust prevention. Maisie has whakapapa to Ngā Rangi and is the Kauri Dieback Campaign Coordinator for Pest Free Kaipātiki, also known as PFK. PFK operates in Auckland's Kaipātiki local board, which is home to an extensive network of urban reserves. Kauri Dieback and myrtle rust are both present in Kaipātiki, and PFK have been instrumental in engaging the community in these issues. So this kōrero will offer a perspective on the successes and the challenges of community engagement in these plant pathogens. Nau mai, whakapiri mai Maisie, kia ora.
Kia ora koutou, I'm Maisie. I am the Kauri Dieback Campaign Coordinator with Pest Free Kaipātiki, and I'm going to talk to you quickly today so that we can get to lunch about our work engaging our community in kauri protection and myrtle rust prevention. Cool, so we've already had a little bit of an introduction from Stacey, but a bit about us. So Pest Free Kaipātiki actually started as a restoration network back in 2009. And that's just a group of different restoration groups across Kaipātiki who were kind of banding together to share resources and support each other in restoration work, so planting, weeding, trapping. And then we became an incorporated society in 2017, and since then we've gained a few staff members and we've become kind of an umbrella group for these restoration groups, so we're able to resource them and support them in their mahi. So a big focus for us is obviously ecological restoration, but equally we see our work as creating connections with our community that's really invaluable and creates some good well-being outcomes for our community. So just for context, I'm glad this is a big screenish, you can kind of see us just on the North Shore on the kind of west. We face south and west into the Waitemata. And we're surrounded by a few other board areas that we're able to work with in their restoration work as well. But what is really quite unique about Kaipātiki is that we have a significant area of regenerating native forest. So what you see on that map is kind of a underestimation of what is actually present. We've got a lot of SEAs in the area. And we've got the largest network of tracks in Kaurilands outside of regional parks. So our community is interacting with kauri in reserves, both as restoration workers or volunteers, and in recreation, but also in their backyards. So a lot of the community that we work with have kauri growing next to their decks or through their decks, and they're really concerned about keeping these kauri safe. So while a lot of what we do is planting and weeding, we do also have to respond to the threat that is kauri dieback and now myrtle rust as well. So PA was detected in Kaipātiki in 2018, and we supported Auckland Council and the local board in their decision to close the affected reserves. But after those closures, it became a question of how do we maintain engagement with the community around kauri dieback and train up our reserve volunteers in kauri hygiene so that they're interacting with our reserves in a safe way. And then as of last year, we've also extended into the myrtle rust area. We've got a few pockets of swamp maere in our reserves that we're really keen to look after. So we've got some potential work coming up with that. But yeah, a lot of what we do is ensuring that we are maintaining that awareness with our community. So I'll just take you through a couple of ways that we do this. So a key part of our work is in schools engagement. So we have a biodiversity educator, her name's Angie, and she does a wonderful job working with primaries, intermediates and high schools in our area. You can see some photos of some kids, they're measuring out the circumference of one of our local large kauri in Bayview, I believe it is. We've also had students from Project K come in for kind of sized down versions of our Kauri protection workshop. So those are year 10 students. We've got church groups and also local scout and guides groups as well, who we take on bushwalks, and we do shoe scrubbing competitions and all sorts of stuff like that. Another successful thing for us has been running art competitions through our local libraries. We just finished one over the last school holidays, and my favourite entry was a letter written by a local student who said that they love the forest because they think the forest loves them. So we get some really sweet entries, and we get to educate the next generation on these issues. Another key part of our engagements is collaboration with other community organisations. So libraries, our community houses, we're lucky to have 3 community houses in our community, and also other local environmental groups, so Kaipātiki Project and Kaipātiki Communities Facilities Trust are 2 other groups that we work with closely. And that just helps us to extend our reach beyond who we might usually engage with in kind of a restoration space. So that's given us inroads to engage with English as second language groups, new migrant groups, and bottom left you can see our wonderful Bella, who's got amazing botanical knowledge. She leads night walks through our local reserves, and we have another colleague who is a Mandarin speaker, so she accompanies Bella, and together they can run these bilingual walks through our reserves and talk about our kauri and our myrtles. So I also just wanted to talk about how small groups like ours, or groups that are really in touch with our communities, are able to take the high-level kind of kauri protection messaging and tailor it to our community. So this is our Kauri hero character, and we've been using it for 3 years now. It's very simple. It's just, I think, a stock image that one of our volunteers kind of tailored to work with this kaupapa. And it's something that we know the kids that we interact with have really responded to. We have it printed on t-shirts that kids wear all around Kaipātiki. We see them at local sports events wearing them. They recognise us from our interactions with them. And this Kauri hero with the tagline of "I'm a Kauri hero because," we're able to use through lots of our different campaigns and engagements. And this has actually been so successful that we introduced a little kuri. And we extended this because we wanted to really engage with local dog owners. We have a lot of dog walkers in the area. Particularly, they seem to love areas with lots of kauri to run their dogs off leash. And so we really wanted to engage with them about particularly keeping your dog on track, but also on leash, and if they were up for it, washing their paws. I did have one couple tell me they actually keep a paw cleaning kit in the back of their car, and they use it after every walk, which was amazing. But so just really simple designs like this, we know that they work for our community. They wouldn't necessarily work for all communities or all people that you're wanting to engage with, but these have worked really well for us, and we've been able to utilise them. And then this is what we do with it. So we can have one-on-one engagements. So over the course of a week, last month, I just went out to some local dog parks and chatted with dog owners and got them taking photos with our Kauri hero kuri. And then that gave us like 3 weeks worth of social media content as well. So it's a really effective means of spreading our message around Kauri protection. So just finally, I just want to mention the strengths and benefits of community collaboration and working with groups like ours. There are restoration groups all across Kaurilands who have more or less, depending on the group, the ability to take this kaupapa of kauri protection and work with their community that they know really well. So like with our Kauri hero and our Kauri hero kuri, we're able to tailor our messaging around kauri protection to the community that we know we're interacting with most. We've got localised community connections, like with libraries or other community organisations that are pre-existing, and we can leverage off those to protect kauri, essentially. Trusting relationships, that goes both ways between us and our community. We know that our community really wants to look after the kauri that we're so lucky to have in our backyards and in our reserves. So we trust, our reserve volunteers and their actions and their learning around kauri hygiene, but also we've become a source of information for our community. If they've got an issue around trap closures or a particular tree that they're concerned about, they come to us, and then we're able to feed them in the right direction or give accurate advice to them. And then also just that we've got insights on community perspectives that we're able to feed back up the chain as well. And we've seen this has been really valuable in myrtle rust in particular. We've found our community, one last little thing, has been a little bit confused around myrtle rust messaging over the past year, and we've had our fingers on that pulse. We know that people want to do something about pathogens, and being told to just track it on iNaturalist has been a bit difficult to kind of get across. And so we hear that firsthand, and we're able to kind of feed that back up. So thank you very much, and I guess ultimately I just want to say, find these little groups in your areas. We've got the skills to be doing this work with our communities. Thanks.